if you had a young brother about to get married, right, and he came up to you and said, "Listen, man, my fiance wants to spend $15,000 on his wedding," but the brother saying, "Listen, I want to put $15,000 on the house for a down payment, man," and neither want to budge on this shit. Like, what kind of advice would y'all give these young people?
So, man, wait.
The young man wants to take the same money and put that towards a house, right? And versus the young lady who wants to spend it on the wedding, you know. I would say that's a very forward-thinking young man, you know, very responsible person, you know. I always say, like, people want to get married, they don't want to really be married, you know what I mean? So it's like, no, I'm saying, think about it, you know, like, you know, everyone they want their day, but they don't think about the day after, you know. Correct. So, you know,
there's a difference between a marriage and a wedding. But let me say this, Derek, to give you a little more context. So in this particular instance, the guy has saved $16,000. Okay, he bought the woman the ring she wanted for $3,000, which he took out of his savings. She now figures that she wants the $16,000.
Oh, Kelvin froze.
And more to have a big.
Oh, there you go.
You froze up a little bit, Kelvin.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
yeah, because it's a really, really icy subject. I'm just, you know, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, well, I look at it like this, right? I agree with what Derek said. Derek said that he's a responsible young man because he wants to purchase his first home, which is your first step to building wealth, right? Mm-hmm. And she basically wants to spend the money that's going to cost her that she's going to have one day for. Now, I do believe women should have their day. You know what I mean? You know, you want to get married. But the thing is, if you're not in that position to have a $15,000 wedding, then you can't do it. It's not recommended. The other thing is, I want to know how much money she got. That's what I want to know, too. How much money she got. And then the thing is, too, I don't tell people to break up, but I know this young man might need to reconsider who he is getting ready to marry.
Yeah, different values.
Because you're not on the same page. As Norred said, they don't have the same values. Yeah. And the thing is, don't ignore signs. If somebody shows you who they are, then you believe them.
There you go. Invest the $15K after the house, and after the wedding, you don't need $15K for your first house. Yeah. Well,
I don't know what kind of house you buying from under.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe depending on what state he's in. You know, they might be. There's some states. There's houses for $150,000 in some states.
Yeah, it's 40. I seen houses for 75 down south. Like
yeah, correct.
You buy?
He don't live here. He don't live here. He don't live here.
He or she. We don't know if he or she.
New York. Yeah.
You don't want the wedding just for other people, because what I realize is the people that love you, if it's in your backyard, it'll be enough. And if you love each other, that'll be enough. You know.
Yeah.
Get dressed, get some pictures, do it somewhere that's affordable. I know people that do it on 4th of July. I know people that do it on Thanksgiving night. They do it and they get up to 50% markdown and stuff like that. You know,
it's insane. People starting their weddings and they're taking loans out for their weddings and stuff.
What happened? Ronnie cracking up. What happened?
Because as soon as Kelvin said that they want to get married on the 4th of July, I thought about him with fireworks. I said, Kelvin probably said, "I'm not going to officiate your wedding if you don't have no fire. If you got fireworks there, I'm not doing it."
Nah, there's a lot of Monday weddings, man. Monday weddings and Wednesday weddings nowadays, man.
Yeah. But I just want to let people know, you have weddings, you don't get that money back.
Facts on that.
You don't get that money back.
Right.
You know, so the thing is, if you pay $15,000 for the wedding, you'll be lucky if you get back $5,000.
Right.
This is what Shauna wrote. That's some funny shit.
I better do it all over again. I would have fed up 200 MFs.
Hey, Shauna, was I there? Was I one of the motherfuckers?
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, you're starting off in debt, man. You know what I mean? Damn.
Mm-hmm. Starting off in debt.
Yeah, you're starting off bad, man. So put something on the wedding, the day after, man. Invest your money for the day after. Something's going to ensure or add to the potential success of the marriage.
No, we need this conversation. I know it's there, Sean. I ain't one of the motherfuckers now, goddamn it. My man must have came with his tits out. He ain't put them on the screen. But you know what? I don't know, man. I wish we had some women to chime in on this, man, because I know it's come from men. Because men, we like, we know we don't got no part in this wedding. We just showing up. We just the motherfucker that stand in the picture.
Yeah.
It's really her day and shit like that. Like, but you know, we think about the finance and stuff. I wonder if we had some more women chime in.
Now, let me ask you a question, Kelvin. Have you ever officiated a wedding for people that were already married and they just having a wedding because they didn't get a chance to have a wedding when they couldn't afford it when they got together?
Very, very good question. And so let me make sure I understand it. So the people that already were married, people after the ceremony, right?
Two people probably went to the JP when they was young because they didn't have any money. You know what I mean? And then when they grew, they made some money. They got their lives together. They said, we're going to have the wedding now that we never had before.
Okay, so this is what I've done. What I did was I had somebody that renewed their 10-year.
Okay.
And then they did it big. They did it a little bigger or whatever like that. But I don't do the we got married a week ago and now we just doing it to go through the motions for everybody, that type of thing. I don't like to do that. I know people do that regularly. I don't like to do it. I don't like us acting.
Yeah. You know what I mean? No, but my point is basically like if you're going to be together and you obviously didn't give this woman her day when you guys, you know, succeed, get your house, you guys advanced in your career. Now you got money in the bank and you can afford it. You can still give her that day later on.
Yeah.
That's my point too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think I may have been involved in something like that. People would say that we didn't have any money when we got married. And
correct.
Some people and things like that. So yeah, they actually wanted to, because a lot of people, especially a lot of women, like to know that feeling of that day and then coming down that aisle.
Correct.
People never had that chance to do that. You know what I mean?
But I find those are some of the most successful marriages, man. You know, I've met
people that got a little more life experience.
Yeah. You did. First of all, you didn't start off in debt, and you got married. You know, when you got married, you really wanted to be married. You know, it wasn't about the day or it wasn't about the pomp and the circumstances. They just went ahead and did the thing, you know, and lived their life. And then later on, they just had their day. You know, they just it's something about that. It takes a little extra foresight and thought, you know what I mean, other than just the emotional response of just, hey, I want to have this big party, you know. So yeah, that's us. Yeah, our wedding was very small, simple, stress-free, and very inexpensive. Best wedding ever. Yes, it was. We had a very small wedding. You know, a lot of people got uptight because they didn't get invited. You know what I mean? Had to deal with that later. But yeah.
Did no rep make her own cake for a wedding?
No, she did not. Her sister made it. Yeah.
Wait, I missed that. I missed that big comment down.
Yeah, let me see the big comment. Read that comment. Jamie, can you bring that up again, please?
Yeah, don't marry a woman who's obsessed with the wedding. Exactly. Marriage should be about partnership. Do it big when you can afford it. Women have been socialized to want a big wedding. Waste of money. It is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's a valid point.
It's all about the couple and partnership. Get everyone else. Only have people there that matter.
That's a good point too. That's a good point. Because I'm going to speak from experience. Weddings are not cheap at all. And I'm going to tell you now another thing. You may set a budget, and I guarantee you're going over that budget. You're going over that budget. Yeah, so the thing is, if you got a budget for 15 grand, if you had a budget for 15 grand, you're spending 22, 23, 24. Easy.
Think about the ring. Think about the ring that you bought.
Yeah.
You know, all the stuff that you have to do that's the surrounding it. And then the sad thing is this. I've seen this. A lot of couples are so busy and trying to make this the perfect day, they don't get to enjoy it.
No, correct. You don't.
That's a good point. Good point, Kelvin.
Perfect.
Good point.
And you tired. You tired after the wedding.
Right. Exhausted.
Break from the wedding. Yeah, for real.
Correct. The wedding is not for you. It's actually for your guests. That's what it is. I'm dying for somebody to have a wedding so I can go eat up their shit. You know?
You know what it is? You got $100 plate and somebody gave you as a gift, Outback Steakhouse, $25. You know what it is.
My wedding was a fog to me. I mean, I don't remember a lot of it. Like you said, you're constantly moving. They're pulling you to take pictures. You're going here, you're going there, and I mean, I didn't even get a chance to really enjoy the food. I mean, I got to dance a little, some, but the wedding was for basic. I had to ask like D and other friends that was there, like, how was the happy hour? Was it good? Was it nice? Because I didn't see it, but I paid for it.
That's true. That's true.
But that'd be a good idea. You know what people should do? People should get married, and if you make it past 2 years, then go ahead and do the big ceremony.
If you got the money.
Right, but I'm saying, like, in other words, because people right now are still paying for marriages and they're on the way to divorce, and they're still paying for weddings. I mean, $20,000 and $30,000. And this is how I feel about it. If you, and this is the way I do it, If you spend $20,000+ on a wedding, you should already be a homeowner.
Correct. I know somebody, and this is a true story. Not gonna say no names. I know somebody spent $50,000 on a wedding, got married, and they moved into her mother's basement. 50 grand in debt. Huh? Yes, it's in New York.
Oh,
yeah.
New York. I tell people like this: weddings in New York, weddings like New York, when they have them like 150, 200 guests, and then it's like those shits is 50 grand off the muscle.
It is
off the muscle. My cousin got married on Thursday. I told my cousin came from down south. I said, "How much you think this wedding is?" I said, "Because it's on I think it was a Wednesday or Thursday, something like that." I said, "This is easy minimum. I'm looking at the place, 40 grand on a weekday." And they said, "What?" And I asked the father. They said, "Yeah, that's how much it should cost."
Yeah. And the thing is, how technical you get, like I didn't have limos and all that stuff for my wedding. We just did everything in the catering hall, in the hall, even had the ceremony in the hall, so you didn't have to travel. No guests had to travel, and it still was a bread. It still was a nice piece of cheese.
We got to talk about the worst weddings. I know, Kelvin, you've been to officiate. I had a cousin in Newark. One of the worst weddings I've been to in my life, my dude.
I've had a couple. I had somebody forget the license.
Somebody what?
I've had somebody forget the license.
Oh wow!
And you can do all that $40,000 and $50,000 you want. That license don't make it back to City Hall in 5 days. You got married.
Yeah, you ain't married.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? Then the other thing that is interesting is the destination wedding, where the couple gets everything free, and then all the friends and family got to pay for their accommodation. That's different as well. Where
you find a lot of people show up at destination weddings, because I figured that would limit your guests, because a lot of people wouldn't want to fly.
But again, what happens is this: a lot of people come. Yeah, you're right, Rodney. You don't have 200 or 300 people at those destination weddings.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, a lot of people feel like the people that love you will support you any way you do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. That's why you don't need to do all of this. You see what I'm saying? I think what happens is people need to understand this. You cannot circumvent the experience of being in love, no matter how you dress it up. Like, in other words, it's not going to compensate for anywhere where there's a void at. And I think people think that. They think the bigger, the better, the brighter, the most expensive solidifies the union, and it doesn't. It doesn't do that. There's some people been, married, and they had two nickels to rub together, but they genuinely loved each other. Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter. And to this young man, the woman that's pressuring him to do this is saying she's not the one, because he should be enough. And respecting his wishes should be enough. And that's what we don't do. That's it. And I think we got to stop beating down men who just don't have the money to do all these lavish things. You know what I mean? Or the man wants to be responsible enough to say, I want a place to lay our head. Yeah. I'd rather have 365 days where we could be in this house together than one day where people ain't gonna remember if they had the steak or the fish, and that's it.
Correct.
That's very, very true.
And you're gonna be broke after that wedding.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, I remember my father, my sister got married 84, I think it was. And I think he spent like 15, took a loan, spent like 15. That's 84 now, so people was like, oh, that's not money. 1984, $15,000, like say 50 grand.
That's
it. People got to look at the price of cars was back then. All kinds of that. And my sister got divorced in 5 years. My father's still paying on that loan.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to say this, and I hate to say it because somebody I know, and I really hate to say it. I know somebody got married, and I don't know if you ever had this experience before, where you're sitting there and you know that this is not going to work. You know that the person should not be getting married. You know the person is not even all there. I remember feeling like an accomplice. I remember feeling guilty because when the minister was like, "Does anybody in here see just cause why these two should not be married?" I want to raise my hand like all of us in here are guilty, because we know. When I tell you they got married on Valentine's Day and they went for an annulment 1 month later.
I know I got one beat better yet. I got a cat that Sam. I don't know if Sam knows his brother very well. He's this dude that goes to Albany. Jamie. Sorry, Anyhow, so his brother got married on a Friday. They was getting split up on that Monday or Tuesday.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened, D?
She was the ugliest woman I've ever seen in my life.
Well, he knew that beforehand. Come on.
He just found that on
a wedding day.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. They were young and dumb. We were like they were teenagers, maybe 19. That was just dumb.
Yeah, you should probably grow up first. You should probably be grown before you get married.
I don't believe in people getting married young. That's just my personal opinion. That's
after the stuff I've been through and probably you know what we've been through.
Correct.
I think people should all get wait till they at least close to, if not 35 or better. You know, men should be 40.
Correct. I'm going to tell you, if you are not over the age of 35, getting ready to I don't think. I just think you're not ready for it. You're not ready for it.
You're probably absolutely right. I mean, there's something about maturity.
You should be better at picking out mates at that age as well, too.
Right. Because you know yourself better.
Correct.
Before that.
You know yourself better.
And you've dated other men and women or whatever, and you've been able to go through certain things and say, okay, this is not a good person. That's not. So you'll be able to read people a little bit better once you get older and wiser. You
realize beauty don't pay bills.
No, beauty don't pay bills. It doesn't pay bills at all. And sometimes beauty cracks too.
Right. And the next day you don't have that dress or tuxedo on.
Correct. And both of us won't be able to fit that tux or that dress we got married.
That's right. The figure 8 gonna be a figure 0.
Or Mr. and Mrs. and Mrs. Potato.
Jamie said beauty pays on IG. That's fact. But I'm mad at Jamie because Jamie knew, man. When he was at my wedding, man. Jamie could have helped me out, man. He could have stuck out and said something, man.
I knew too.
God damn it, Roddy.
No, we talked about this. Remember, you told me I can't believe you.
I'm gone. This is over.
I can't sit here. We had to talk about it. I said, remember you got mad at me and said, why didn't you tell me? And I said, I can't tell you something like that at that point.
It was early in our relationship too. It was early, so I get it, man. But Jamie knew me since we were kids, man.
No, I knew. I knew that wasn't going to work. Yeah.
So what do y'all think? Y'all believe in the trophy wife? You believe the trophy wife thing is real?
Trophy wife? You mean for looks?
I don't believe in trophy wife.
Nah.
Nah. What is it? What is that? What is this pretty wife that you gotta have?
I knew I wasn't even at the wedding. My sister. Shauna's like a sister to me.
Yeah. D, a lot of people knew. They knew.
God damn.
Yeah, a lot of people knew.
I'm a sucker for love.
But I did pray for you, though. I prayed for you, brother. I said, yo, I hope it works.
Too. Oh, y'all keep checking in, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, D, a lot of people knew. A lot of people knew that it wasn't going to work.
D, did I know you back then?
What year I got married? I can't remember. 03? Was 03, right?
Oh, I don't know. I remember.
I didn't even know you back then, and I knew D.
Lily was born in 06. It's 03. It's 03. Yeah. Damn.
The connection wasn't there.
God damn. It was. Damn.
No.
Damn, man.
I'll be honest with you. Look at the upside. You're a better man for it, though. You're a better man because of it.
I got a lot less money.
But hey, what got you to the altar in the first place, brother?
Pressure, motherfucker, saying like, you get a certain age. I was only about 20 still. You know what I mean? People.
That's how it was back then.
Yeah, people like, yo, you getting old, and your family talking about this, and you can't be shacking up and all this other shit. You know, the religious shit came in the head and all that stuff. I'm like, God damn. And I say, you know what? They might be right. You don't want to grow older by yourself. I'm like,
you're 20-some years old, man.
I'm gonna give some really good advice, right? Number one, don't listen to people unless you're getting it from somebody that's experienced, that's already married. That's number one.
I did. Number son of a bitch is one of misery love company.
The thing is, too, when you start basing getting married on a timeline, like I got to be married before I'm 29, I got to be married before I'm 26.
A lot of women now.
Yeah, that's a dangerous look, because the thing is, that time frame is about him or her. It's not about you guys together. It's based on just that one person. Oh, I got to be in this position in my company by this time. No, you're just being a piece in their timeline. You know what I'm saying? So I don't recommend, when you hear people talking like that, that's not a good look for usually the other person.
Right. And whenever you do something to appease other people,
yeah,
we do a lot of things for that, because
what are they
societal pressure.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always wanted to be married. But the thing is this: a lot of people will, I mean, they'll always point you in that direction, lead you. That people always try to set you up. They always try to do these different things. One thing you've got to do, you got to know yourself well enough to say, I've got to do what works for me.
Correct.
If you don't do what works for you, then what you're going to do is somebody else is going to dictate to you what works, and that's not going to happen for you. So that's the reality of it. So you've got to know what you want. You've got to know what you don't want. You see what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I'm not, I didn't grow up with a proud beating mother and stuff like that. You ain't no good. You ain't good. So that getting angry and flying off the handle and walking out and storming out, I'm not a big fan of that. I believe, you know, you should be able to talk things out and stuff like that. Now, in a perfect world, that happens, but it doesn't always happen. And you're not perfect. The person's not perfect. So you got to work together. But there's certain things that are deal breakers. Certain things that are deal breakers and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of nasty attitudes, no matter who it comes from.
Yeah. Don't, another thing too, don't sacrifice your happiness to make somebody else happy. That doesn't work either. So like, I'm not that guy that believes in happy wife, happy life. That means that you're unhappy, but she's happy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that.
Right. Definitely. No, I feel
as the great Beanie Siegel said, my wife said, "Let me change my life." He said, "No, I need to change my wife." Quote from Beanie Siegel.
Yeah. I never thought we would be getting marriage advice from Beanie Siegel. Maybe that's why Philly's divorce court is full. You know?
Quarter to Beanie Siegel. Classic. But now this is a good
Don't
topic,
rush into marriage, y'all. Don't rush into it.
And should you marry your friend? Is that the question? Should you marry your friend?
I say yes.
Yes. Your wife.
I say absolutely yes.
But for men and women, it should be your best friend.
See, D, you're 100% right. 100% right. The thing is this. I see people that men and women that try to be friends with a man and a woman. I mean, and I'm like, you guys don't even realize you're good with being friends. You'll probably even be great as a couple because you like hanging out with each other. That means you enjoy each other's company. You talk. Why don't you start a relationship? It's best to start off as friends because, like I said, then you enjoy each other's company and time, and you have things in common. So I agree 100%. You should marry your friend, unless he's a dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, there's a place for that too for people. Here you go, happy spouse, happy house. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. And that's both spouses, man and woman. You know.
Yeah, now Sean and her husband, like those two are fucking funny as hell. If y'all follow them on Facebook, man, they crack jokes at each other. I love their relationship. I was there for that. Man, we used to play cards and Sean out, all kind of shit though. That's my sister right there. So I love her. That's my brother.
You got to be able to enjoy each other. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my wife, we tease each other and we joke around and whatever. But like I said, we're friends. You know what I'm saying? We're friends.
You gotta like each other, man.
You gotta like each other
for the
first.
Rest of your life, right? You gotta like each other. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's dudes sitting in the living room right now, and as their wife walk by, they go, "I don't like her."
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah. And you gotta kind of know the person's background too. I think all that stuff is important. You understand culture, you understand people's family, their upbringing, because you need to know somebody's makeup.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had a counselor one time say, "Don't marry a person unless you've seen them angry." You need to know.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want her coming in about you don't want to make me angry. You would like me.
Well, the thing is, fight there too. You know,
you gotta let it. You gotta know if your wife's going to jump in if you're getting busy too. You know.
Yeah. So. and the other thing is, your girl got to have a girlfriend. So a lot of people got multiple wives.
Run this girl.
Okay, there we go.
Run this girl.
Come on, I ain't say nothing crazy now. I ain't say nothing crazy.
The thing is too, like with me, when I was dating, I always look for the bad in the woman first, because the good is the gravy. That's good. People sometimes do it backwards. They look for the good first, and they don't pay attention to the bad, and that's when you get into bad relationships.
Right.
You got married with gang rules, though. No way out.
I tell you,
you gotta get jumped in. You gotta get jumped out.
You gotta get jumped in.
Them two. Now shout out,
like get jumped out.
Nah, for dudes, real talk. Like I'm not like because Shauna's like chiming in on him. Like she a ride or die for real for my man Ray, man. Like they went through some stuff. Like, and I love Ray, and I'm not gonna put their business out, but Ray's a stand up dude. I mean, one of the most stand-up brothers I've ever met, and he got the right one right there. Shout out to them. Word.
Very good, very good for them.
Like he's a ride or die. Like people can take lessons from him and him as a man. He's a man's man.
I like to see that. I like to see couples that know that they are end all be all. You know what I'm saying? And they don't let anybody penetrate what they have. You know what I'm saying? Nobody infiltrates this relationship. You know, and if they do, you give them smoke together.